Welcome. In this video, we are going to create an account with the website CodeWars.com. This is a place where we're going to be practicing JavaScript. Let's go to sign up. Now, it wants to know what language we would like to practice. You can change language in the future, but for now, let's going to choose JavaScript. The code do not execute properly. Try to figure out why. Right here, the only thing that I see is it's missing return. And also missing submit. Well done. Saving your progress. On this screen right here, you need to put the information for your new account. They ask for a clan. You don't have a clan right now. It's like a club of friends that you're going to be working with. So you can ignore this one. But this one is important. You need to put the email, and this needs to be a valid email. Here, you need to choose a unique username. Suffix 2. Password. You choose the password that you want to have in this website. And click Enlist. Right here, you can choose other languages that you would like to practice. My advice right now for us that we are learning JavaScript is let's gonna keep it with JavaScript only. Save your profile. In this place right here is where you can start practicing. Let's gonna choose a kata. Kata is the name of the problems or practice algorithms that you're gonna have to solve. Let's gonna click kata. Right here, this is the system of how complicated the problems are gonna be. Number 1 is the most complicated, and number 8 are the most easy or simple. So since we are just practicing and learning right now, let's gonna choose number 8. In languages, let's gonna choose JavaScript. As you can see, this thing is spinning. That means that it's making changes. When these do not spin, it's showing you the information that you need to have right now. Okay, all these are the simple ones that we can start practicing right now. Let's gonna do one simple one. How old will I be in 2099? All right, let's gonna open this one, and I just open it in a different tab. Right here, you can start reading the instructions for this kata. These are the instructions that you need to understand to be able to solve this problem. The next thing that we need to do, we need to come to this corner right here and say train. Right here, you can see once again the explanation of the problem at hand. And right here is a place where you need to place your solution. In this part right here, we're going to write the code. But let's gonna analyze really quick once again what the instructions right here tell us. Basically, it's telling us that this function is gonna receive two parameters: the birth date, which is A, and the question date, which is B. And we're gonna be using A and B just to make it very, very simple. And basically, based upon those two dates, you need to analyze. A is the birth date. And the second one, B, is going to be the one that we want to test. So basically, the program right here needs to analyze and find out how many years. And you need to understand that there is a difference between you are 4 years old and you are 1 year old. See, after the R, there is no S. So basically, this is one case and this is a different case. The same goes with you were born this very year. That will be when A and B are exactly the same date. That means that you were born exactly that day. They say, and there is also a difference between you will be born in 1 year and you will be born in 10 years with a S. So basically we have you are year and years old. Two cases. You will be two cases and one more case where you were born this very year. To make this very simple, I'm going to be using the most basic way to do it using a lot of if statements. But let's gonna start finding what is the number that we're going to be calculating. We're going to call that one, we're going to put that one in a variable. And this variable, I'm going to call it age. And age is going to be equals to b minus a, which is our birth date. And as I said before, I'm going to be using only if statements. It's going to be long, but I don't want to be using any other different ways or tools because this is the very, very basic and this is the basic. So let's going to start using only if statements. If, let's going to open and close the parentheses, and let's going to open and close our curly braces, and inside the curly braces is the place where we're going to be placing the code. But first of all, let's going to analyze the if. If, and let's going to say if b minus a is equals to 1, or if a minus b equals 1. So basically right now I'm testing in those cases when it's going to be 1 year old, like this case without the s, year. Okay, and basically right now it's going to say, okay, now we know if it's going to be 1 year into the future or 1 year into the past. And we're going to say if age it's greater than 0, open and close your curly braces, and in this case is into the future. That means that you are 1 year old. So let's gonna return. And if you are 1 year old, and also if age it's less than 0, that means that you hasn't born yet. You will be born in 1 year. In that case, we need a else statement. Open and close your curly braces, and right here return you will be born in 1 year. In this part right here we are testing just for 1 year. Now we need to find, in the next part we're going to be testing if it's more than 1 year or the same year. Right here we're going to say else, open and close, and we're going to be using another if statement. If a it's less than b, if that is the case, open and close your parentheses, and let's want to think what we are doing right here. If a is less than b, that means that you are 8 years old. Since this algorithm is going to be testing for specific letters, I'm going to be copying the letters from this part right here. And I'm just going to return the same thing. But the 90, it needs to be different. For that case, I'm going to open and close, and I'm going to do a concatenation. And right here, I'm just going to plug age. Now, I'm going to run an else if statement. Else if. And in this case, it's going to be the opposite of these two. If A is greater than B. If that is the case, that means that you will be born in X number of years into the future. To do that, we are going to copy you will be born. This one right here in X number of years. Copy and say return. As we know, this 10, it cannot stay there. And right here, we are going to put age. But there is one more thing that we need to think about. This age is negative. Because if you think about it, if A minus B is A, in this case, age is a negative number. So we need to convert that negative number to a positive one. And to do that, we need to remember that every number multiplied by -1 is the same number, but with a change, the sign from positive to negative or negative to positive. So the easiest way to do that, it will be age multiply equals -1. And finally, we are in the very last part. In this case, we know if you are 1 year old, you will be born in 1 year, you are X number of years old, or you will be born in X number of years. The very last one is when A and B are exactly the same. Since this algorithm is testing for all the other ones, the only one that is for default left behind is if A and B are the same. And in that case, we only need to say else, open and close, and then return you were born this very year. And you know, I think that this is good, but I'm gonna do just one thing. I'm gonna delete this part just to, because I want to see one error. I want you to see how to handle errors. So I'm gonna delete this thing, and then I'm gonna say you can do whichever of those two. Run sample test, which is gonna run these ones, or you can attempt and it's gonna run other examples. In this case, I'm gonna run sample test. And it's telling me, oh, expected. And I want you to understand what's going on right here. Expected, you will be born in 10 years. Instead, you will be born in -10 years. And basically, we're going to have exactly the same problem with all the tests that are negative. So remember, to fix this one, and the reason why I make this, you pass 7 and fail 3 of the tests. And all of them were the same kind of error. It's very important. I wanted to show you this part right here. How we can fix this one? Very simple. So basically, we say age multiply equals -1 and run sample test. All of them pass. But the most important part is going to be attempt. And let's going to click attempt. And right now it's going to be running 50 tests. In some cases they have many more, and you pass it. And if you see this button right here, now it says submit final. If you push this button, now you will be able to add this kata as one kata that you finish, because as right now you finish it, but you hasn't delivered your homework to the teacher. I'm gonna submit my final answer. And something very interesting about finishing your katas is that it's gonna give you to a place that is called solutions. Before we were in details, and right here in details is where it gives you the information about this place. But if you click solutions after you finish your kata, you are able to see right here, this is the code that other students use. Did you see? In the code that we create, we use a lot of lines. This person right here used very little. This is very important because you can see how other people answer. This is very similar to ours. Functions, birth year, year, and age equals, very similar to ours. One more thing that you can do is also go and review your profile. If you want to practice more katas, you just come to this place right here. It says kata. Once again, my advice is choose JavaScript, which is the language that we are practicing right here. And you can choose another 8, which is the easiest one. But if you feel confident, you can go and choose whichever ones that you wanted. I'm just warning you. The 3 and 2s are also the 4s. They can get a little bit complicated. So let's gonna choose 8. And you can see right here this check mark. And it says how old I will be. That means that you already finished this kata. But all the other ones, no. So if you are ready for the next kata, just click the one that you would like to do and practice your JavaScript.